ending.
So Lincoln, obviously, the Lincoln assassination is incredibly famous, and you have all this power to build tension because your entire audience knows what's going to happen. It's very much like a Brecht play. I can't remember the name of the one I'm thinking, but where you know things are going to end badly, and therefore you anticipate it the entire way, right?
Yeah. Someone's gonna get shot at the end of this movie.
Yeah. So, and you have this great chance to build up all this tension, and the way they decide to do it is we watch another play going on
that his child was
at, and this guy just runs out and he's like, the president has been shot, and then the child turns into the kid from Looper and starts screaming.
Which is fair. I thought it was a good little reaction bit from the kid.
Oh, it was a fine reaction, but it was like...
Like what? All of a sudden, Lincoln's been shot.
Yeah, I feel like that was a missed opportunity.
Yeah, I agree.
See, and I actually would disagree with that.
Really?
Yeah.
Of course you would.
Of course I would. Because I think the goal of the movie was not to make a movie about the assassination of Abe Lincoln. I think the whole point of the movie was to show and like the process and what was involved in passing the 13th Amendment. And then to make it so that the audience, like to make it a movie about the assassination would kind of wipe out in the mind of the audience the importance of what the actual movie was about.
No, because I completely disagree. Sorry, I'm interrupting. I completely disagree because if they were going to do it, that they were going to make it about the assassination. I think over-highlighting the assassination would have been going into like, here's John Wilkes Booth's story. Like, here we're going to introduce him. Here we're going to talk about why he's doing it. Here we're going to talk about like, you know, why who set it up, right? And which I would disagree with because I agree that would take away from it. But I still think you can dedicate 2 or 3 minutes of tension build and maybe show him at the theater enjoying the play and satisfied with what he's done and reflecting, as opposed to just having someone literally come on stage and tell it to us.
I can see the merit of both of what you're saying. I feel like it kind of might have taken away from it, but at the same time, it was kind of like, oh.
Yeah, but I feel like everybody knows he was assassinated in a theater, and to then kind of like, you know, show the assassination in the theater is kind of redundant. You know what I mean? Like, if he's sitting there and all of a sudden it's like, bang. It kind of...
Everybody knows the Titanic sunk, so why don't we just skip over that part? We'll make it 1 minute of the movie and just focus on them in the water.
The Titanic sinking was the Titanic movie was about the boat sinking. The Lincoln movie wasn't.
No, it was about the romance, clearly, because it was a Titanic romance. It was very Titan-like.
I just...
No, I understand what you're saying. How I feel like it might have taken away from.
All right, we've harped on this enough. We disagree. You can.
I see merit to both points.
Yeah, that's a very political, boring answer. At least we have the balls to take a side. This is probably why nobody wants you to vote.
That's a good point.
All right, so if anyone doesn't have any other business, I think we're going to do final verdict. Let's start with Miss Bridget.
Oh, I get a verdict?
Yes.
You didn't want me to vote.
Same thing we did last time. You can still offer your opinion. It's just not as important.
Oh. Thank you.
I'm a good human being. So what are you rating out of? I rudely, in the Cloud Atlas review, just assumed that she'd be rating on a scale of Nick Cage's, but we'll give you an opportunity.
I'm going to give it 3 Crazy Sally Fields out of 5.
3 Sally Fields.
Okay, but if you're going to give it 3 Sally Fields out of 5, then you got to pick a Sally Field movie that is
Lincoln?
Equal to Lincoln. You can't pick...
You didn't explain how the rating system works. You're like, hey, pick an actor, rate the movie.
No,
during the video.
We explained this in the car.
You didn't explain it to me. You said, hey, pick an actor.
Yeah, I said pick an actor, and you were going to go with...
Ledger?
Heath Ledger. And then I said you have to pick a Heath Ledger movie that is because you're giving it a 3, that would be a 3 out of 5.
Okay, I'll give it a 3 out of 5.
So what's a 3 out of 5 Sally Field movie? Right now there's like 3 Sally Fields on the screen here somewhere, just waiting for that movie to come up.
I can't think of any other Sally Field movies.
I will... Okay, so... Do you know what
This is why we don't let you vote.
Exactly.
Lord.
I'll find a poster of a Sally Field movie that I feel looks like a 3 out of 5, and hopefully
Thank
it'll
you.
be accurate. Harlan went to go see the movie with us. He can't be here today, so this stool is going to be Harlan. What would you give this, Harlan? Harlan is going to give this 2.5. Who was he?
Jim Carrey's.
2.5 Jim Carreys out of 5. Which means for Harlan, Lincoln was a what was the Jim Carrey movie? Oh, The Majestic.
The Majestic.
Harlan's giving Lincoln a Majestic rating. 2.5 Jim Carrey's out of 5.
It's a pretty average rating, I would say.
Yeah, it's kind of in the middle.
Right in the middle.
Mr. Pedden?
I'm going to give this movie 4.5 out of 5 Bill Murray.
4.5.
4.5. I'm going to compare this movie to Ghostbusters.
What?
What?
I thoroughly
I'm not
enjoyed
allowed
this
to
movie.
vote, and he's comparing Lincoln to Ghostbusters.
You don't know the movies of your rating scheme.
I don't understand how the rating scheme works. Now I do.
Yeah.
Because he's explained
For the-
me.
for the record-
Sorry, I gotta hear this. Go ahead.
For the record, everybody's performance was amazing. The filmmaking was amazing.
It's true.
The story was, in my mind, super interesting. Even though it was a long movie, I really like politics and things about politics, so it held my interest for the entire time. I thought it had more humor than I was anticipating, and some really great Abe Lincoln stories. It had Daniel Day-Lewis in it, and I would watch it again, and I left the theater inspired.
That's
So
fair.
4.5 Bill Murray's out of 5 Ghostbusters. That's all I have to say about it.
And you.
I agree with everything he said, but I have no urge to ever see the film again. I feel like I would get nothing from repeated viewings, and I probably wouldn't be able to, get the same experience, obviously. I am going to give this movie 3 out of 5 Nicolas Cages. This movie is Snake Eyes. Actually, no, Snake Eyes is lower than 3 out of 5.
I think so.
Sorry, I take that back. What's a 3 out of 5 Nicolas Cage movie?
Portugal?
No. Portugal's awesome. It's hard because there's no bad Nicolas Cage movies.
Drive Angry?
Yeah, that's fair. This movie's Drive Angry. Which Drive Angry, I loved watching Drive Angry. There's a lot of good parts. I really enjoyed it in the theater. I have no urge to see it again. And that's pretty much the way I feel about Lincoln. I would recommend it for a once viewing if you are the type of person, and if you're the type of person that enjoys this kind of movie. If you
Definitely.
go to see films not just for, like the kind of popcorny films or explosions, but if you go to see films based on actors' performance, or if you just or for like dramatic performances, or you find the story interesting, you won't be disappointed.
You won't be.
No.
I feel like politics or things of that nature, you won't be disappointed. I think if you would know, if you like other movies that have that type of feel to them, you will not be disappointed.
Yeah,
with
if
this
you
movie.
think you're gonna like this movie, you're gonna like this movie.
Yeah.
It is what you expect it to be. All right, so that's it for today. We'll be back next week with something. I don't know what's coming out next week. I know Twilight is, but I'm not seeing that till December.
I'm not seeing that ever.
Me neither.
Okay, well, me and Jess will have a good time. Yeah, well, we'll be back next week with something.
Something new.
Yeah.
Peace.